Saint Petersburg. Gigantic megaliths that shouldn't be there if the history in the textbooks is correct. And palaces of celestial beauty. Some of the statues are of such a quality that they are as if alive. Even the stitches on the clothes of these girls are visible. Ramnis Zavizaisius is a specialist in working with particularly hard varieties of granite and other hard stones. He's got 20 years of professional experience, and he shared his following observations on the artifacts that are all around and in this vast complex of palaces in Saint Petersburg. He said, "Let me drop dead right now and here if this was made with any simple tools. Many of the items that I see can be replicated nowadays only with the use of 3D printers." Who built all this beauty? I'm gonna read you a quote from the Russian history textbooks. "Those simple chaps, dressed in torn clothes, did not need any measuring instruments. All you need to do is to just show them a sketch and they would make an amazing copy just like that." Despite the freezing winter temperatures, that is 13-15 degrees below freezing point, they would continue to work even during the night. They were truly amazing primates, oh pardon me, workers, and would hold, that means in the freezing night-winter conditions, the lanterns in their teeth and work at night, climbing on the ladders and doing their work diligently. Even laymen would manufacture masterpieces of fine art. And moreover, as we are gonna see later on in the episode, those laymen would make these masterpieces in a style that they have never seen or heard of before. And another masterpiece, this time of the heights of that could be reached by the human stupidity. There was no contemporary uniform system of measurement. That is why the builders were relying on their intuition only. They are offering us to believe that all this beauty was made by laymen who had no prior education or even never had a glimpse of this style of building, as we'll see in the official history afterwards. And they did it without even a measuring system. Look at all the details of various components made of different materials. How did they fit together if there wasn't a single and amazing engineering plan behind? And also, why would you hold your lantern in the freezing winter temperature with your teeth when you can just hold it with your tail? It's so much easier. But before trying to figure out the actual origin of the palaces, let's start with the older stuff. In a nature park in the outskirts of Saint Petersburg, there are remains of something very huge, some sort of megalithic complex. Although it has been designed to blend with the natural surroundings, it cannot be denied that this is a creation of intelligent beings, because at places still the cement or whatever binding material was used is visible between the stones, and also there are too many stones that are with a regular shape and too many right angles, along with the irregularly shaped ones. Many of the stones in these megaliths are so gigantic that the mainstream historians realize how ridiculous would it look to blame it all on the monkeys again, and that's why they prefer to pretend that these megaliths don't even exist. And like all other megaliths of very similar style in this area, Hyperborean area I call it, they have been subjected to a terrible destruction. They did not fall down because of earthquakes. Earthquakes don't throw stones far away. And because of the demolition that they have suffered, it's impossible even to figure out what was it, but it really seems that it was a huge complex, because it actually spreads over a large area even beyond the park and even to the neighboring country of Finland. And because this place has suffered a terrible blast or a hit of some sort, it's usually impossible even to figure out which of the stones are natural formation in some cases, not all, which stones are natural and which are actually parts of this old structure. Now on these particular images you see remains of something that definitely is of an intelligent design. And around all over are scattered stones, and really one wonders which of them are natural and which of them have been shaped, because many of them have a straight angle here and there and other angles are not straight. For example, here steps are clearly visible, and yet the stones that are scattered around are not of regular shape, so it's very difficult to guess where the natural ends and intelligent one starts. Now this is some sort of a chamber. This is how it looks inside. There is this huge boulder with perfectly leveled front face, and then on it there are two symmetrical holes where it appears as if the stone from inside has melted and blasted out and has formed two perfectly regularly shaped small caves of same size and symmetrical to each other. Here a TV journalist is trying to figure out if this has something to do with some old texts suggesting that within the not so far away past, within the last couple of 100 years, some sort of secret experiments were conducted by some people who still had access to the recipe of very ancient high-tech materials. More sensitive people experience sharp and immediate headaches as soon as they step in these caves, and this TV journalist happened to be one of them. He couldn't even properly report from inside the caves as he was planning to do, because he had to step out immediately due to sharp piercing headache. He said that he felt that hammers are hitting him on the head immediately as he entered. Now, some people who have been there claim that remains of megalithic walls continue for miles and miles. It is not very clearly on the footage they took. It's really not taken with consideration of the viewers. Unfortunately, the videos available are of very poor quality in terms of keeping in mind the viewers that would watch your video. They just tell things but show very little on the footage, or usually show it from far away in such a manner that one cannot figure out what is actually on the ground. But they have been there at a very opportune time. What I mean is that the summer everything is overgrown with greenery. In winter it is covered with snow, so one has to pinpoint exactly this slim period in between the two, when the rocks are more or less exposed, and they have done this, and I will show some of what they have filmed for us. This is one of the examples of huge stones with still very regular shaped and many right angles. This one has got a couple of right angles as well. The compass starts behaving in a strange manner near this place, and shows a deviation of 60 degrees when one is in few meters distance of this formation. This gentleman is remembering his time in school when they were teaching him that it is actually the glaciers who brought all this stone here, and he is wondering what kind of glaciers could have been that intelligent to shape and place together this megalithic wall, because it consists, this one is particularly covered, this portion is covered also by others, and it is a wall. It definitely consists of stones, straight lines next to each other. This is big, it's very big. This particular stone would be 13 by 2 meters, its face I mean, and this one is surely part of the megalithic wall, because in this section even the cement is still intact in between the stones, so this is surely not a natural formation. Here the gentleman shows what is the difference of the natural cracks in the stones and the places where they have been cut in order to construct this wall out of them. So these are the cracks, and the gaps are definitely big. Now he's showing a gap between two gigantic bricks.